Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hitman GO. Let's go. Let's back into the puzzles. Hopefully this next few aren't as difficult as 2-2 and 2-3 were. Alright, so we have a new type of character, which they move sideways with a knife. Interesting. And they seem to only go maybe in the direction they're looking, so they're rotating. If I click this, can I take the guy out? Yes. If I do this though, he'll be looking right there. So unlike the yellow jacketed characters, let's see. If I go here, I'm safe. But I can't, I assume, walk towards them, so that's fine. This pattern's a little bit easier to understand. And you would think they'd introduce these characters first, honestly. Now there's a problem here, though. This guy is looking upward when this guy is looking this way. I can never go to this spot until I get rid of one of these guys. So, while I can go here, I can't take this guy out unless there's some trickery and I can walk up to this guy, which tells me then I need to figure out a way to get him to look the other direction in the next step, and he doesn't. He doesn't turn before me. So this doesn't work. They both run there. Good to know. This does work. But I guess if I was to calculate, I need to use these two, I would suspect. So unless I can just do this and take them out, which apparently you can, then what is our quest? 13 or fewer turns. Interesting. So you can just run up on these guys. This is definitely what I was more expecting from the game. I was expecting you'd probably be able to walk onto the characters and take out at least some of them. So this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and here, and here. That they turn after you move. Interesting. So this, and then another move this way, and let's see if this works. Nope. This. Take this guy out. Then go back this way. And this, and this. Take this guy out. And they turn after you move, which tells me hopefully this works. Which tells me this works. Now it'd be a waste of a move to go that way. So we just run this way. What? That wasn't 13 or fewer moves. Interesting. How can I speed this process up any further? I suppose we could do something like this. And they turn after you move, so I can do this, and this, and this. I can do this. Wow, you didn't even need that under the ground platform, did you? And still, that's not giving me 13 or fewer steps. Come on. Let's see the hint. I guess there's different hints for different things. So show me the hint for this one. This one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Switch to this. Then just run this way. Interesting. Wow. So you can do them both in the same maneuver. Interesting. And more I think I'm just going to end up cheating as we get to these levels though. While this is a very nice presentation, the puzzles themselves are frustrating as all get out. So they turn after you move, so that's the wrong way. And to hit a level of frustration, and we're only at level 2.5, is a real problem. I had less frustration playing the real Hitman game, frankly. Far less frustration there. So this guy turns after you move, so that should allow me to do that. That should allow me to do this. But, well, maybe? No. I guess either one doesn't matter, but you have to be kind of careful. Right. So this guy will turn. So this would probably work? No. It doesn't work. It seems like a violation of the rules of turning after I move. See, this one... And I need to calculate a way to make it so this guy's not there at that point. So this and this and C. And after I take this guy out, that it doesn't work. It seems very arbitrary where these sewers go, honestly. Alright, so this guy's looking right here. What if I switched to this. I can't switch to this. I could only switch to this, and if I switch to this, I fail. So that doesn't work. They'll look this way when I walk here, they'll look that way when I walk here, and when they're looking that way, I'll fail again. If I go back up here, I won't get this because he'll be looking this way again. I again have to break stride here. I have to take an odd number of steps to make it so I'm in a specific place that I normally wouldn't be in. This. And this. And this. Alright. Now I'm thinking if I go up here, he'll turn. No. It really screams a lot here that I can't even keep the rules straight in my own head. Because they haven't put a single piece of dialogue in this game to explain any of this. And they're just assuming that every average player is going to figure out every single way each one of these characters is going to react. And it's just not the case. And it just feels like the game's being cruel to you. Now, we know we can beat the game at this point. This way, it's not going to work. We're going to have to come over here, and then come back over here, and see. That, I don't think is the right move. Nope. So I'm going to have to come over here, switch all of this, and I need to be here. When I switch over here, it'll look this way. And when I switch over here, nope. So we need to be on this spot when he is facing this way. And that's just how it is. Which probably means we need to do some kind of full, let's see, one this way, one that way. Switch here, this, and this. And it doesn't feel like we're figuring out a puzzle as much as we're just brute forcing a solution. And of course, 17 or fewer steps are not taken. Can we do this puzzle in less than 17 steps here? Let's see. We go down here. This. We don't have a counter telling us how many steps we've taken either, so it kind of hurts our opportunity to do this. Because what if I took 17 steps to this point and I'm only one step away? How would I know? So I have no idea how many steps that was. So let's just go, at least hints are unlimited. I'll grant them that. At least it's not charging us money for every hint. Switch back over here, then switch down here, then this, and this. I guess maybe that's the extra places, the extra steps I added. There we go. And I see my mistake there, but certainly would have not figured it out in a decent amount of time. This is the way they used to make old video games, really. I wonder if I'm supposed to kill this guy. If I am, then how would I even get up there? Old video games used to have a terrible factor in them, in which they would make the levels way more difficult, so that the video game players had to really struggle for it. Here we go. Let's see, this. And these yellows move first. Let's look at the order. Yellows move, then blues move after you. But they all move after you, unless they see you, and then if they see you, then they move before you. See, that would kill me. This is probably kind of straightforward puzzle. Well, no, not really. Can't go over here, can't go over there. Gotta go back this way. And maybe I can't, now I can't go up here. So maybe if I did this, but see, this guy's just gonna hit me. And frankly, when I just see these yellow characters at this point, and we're so early in this game, we're only on 2-6, and I'm already to the point where it's like, anytime I see these yellow guys, I have no idea. I don't know how to break their pattern without throwing a rock, and I have no idea how to work within their pattern. And they turn after you walk. And so it has something to do with this, almost certainly. Well, I can't go up here. And I can't go over there. I can't really go up here. So it's just like, show me them all. Show me all the solutions. Show me the 14 out of 25 steps. Is this... Wait a minute, let me take one more step and see something. 15 out of 25 steps. Oh, so you can get a counter through that. Alright, so show me this solution. You go here, then you go here. And I guess you take that one opportunity to get out around like this, and then you go down, back and forth, and you take this, and you go back and forth. Wow. I would have never figured this out. And then you take that guy out. I would have never figured that out. And then you go back up and down some more. And then we take this guy out. I wonder if I can violate the instructions and go the other way. I can. Interesting. There we go. So level complete, and we did 25 or fewer turns, and we collected the briefcase. So I found a solution that was different actually from the solution they were showing me, which, because I asked for the middle solution instead of the briefcase solution. So if we ask for the briefcase solution here, and we'll just see if it does tell us to do different things. Interesting. They've devised multiple solutions some faster and better than others. But mostly it's the same moves that I took. And I like, in theory at least, I like the idea of breaking out of the shadow hint section if you take a different, if you decide to play differently. But that's not a cheat or anything that's gonna stop you from getting it counted against you for using hints. Moving on to 7. This is, I assume, some kind of church now that I look at it a little bit more. And they're introducing a new concept here. The key as a concept. Which, okay. I can't get rid of these two guys. So I'm gonna have to get the blue key if I want the... Get rid of that guy. Let's see. We'll walk around, I guess. And that opens the blue door. Which I suppose we can now walk around here, get that, and there's no getting rid of these two guys, so just continue playing. Ooh, I'm in trouble now. Can't go this way, and I can't go that way. Well, I would have won the game. Well, beaten the level before. But see, I'm just trapped. Forward here, both losing conditions. So I don't care to do that wrongly, so I'm just going to take 23 steps as a hint. I feel justified to say that I, at the very least, figured out that solution, and because it wasn't even a very difficult solution, honestly. This way, that way. It's just trying to introduce this idea of the key, and this, and this, and this, and this. That gets us the first 2 stamps, and we'll just go ahead and use the hint for the briefcase. So I suppose this is a prime example of where frustration ruins games, and why games in general have become easier and easier, and they hold your hand and they walk you through a story, and they're very linear, and they don't put you in open worlds where you can do multiple things, or where you can do the wrong thing. Because if you don't handle the player just right, if you don't give them the entertainment that they're seeking, if you frustrate them instead, you end up having the player take their many opportunities these days to find a solution by cheating effectively, or outside of the intentions of the game developer. And you can totally see this here, that I'm just using all the hints. They were nice enough to give us the hints, I will applaud that, but once you cross that line once, it's not a difficult line to cross the second time. It's not a problem for me to just say, well, I'll just look up the answer to all of these, and just breeze through all these puzzles, and just be done with this game. I have over 500 games on Steam. I have not 500 games worth of times in my life right now. Maybe in my entire lifetime, but maybe not. Who knows? So I've got better things to do than bang my head against puzzles that they didn't explain the mechanics well. There's a definite lack of... Well, that's not gonna work. How would I say this? There's a lack of gradual education going on in this. And I feel it, and it's not good. I guess we can now come over here. And when we open this door, it looked like this chair was something, but it's not. Let's see, this, and then this, and then this, and then we'll go this way. And here we've got Ave Maria playing again. Let's see. If I hit this, I can't do it. I've got to take this guy out if I'm going to do that. So, if I'm going to try for the briefcase, I've got to really play for it. I guess this works somewhat. And now we've crossed this line, and we probably don't need any of the path over here. And these guys are just over here, and I assume they're not gonna say or do anything. So then I can just do this, 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 and assassinate. And kill the mark 30 or fewer turns and collect the briefcase. And what's interesting there is there's no exit for that. So show me the right path that I was supposed to do. Alright, that probably wouldn't have changed much there. Oh, that certainly... No, that wasn't any different. This. You need both keys open. I see. Instead of spending those extra steps to take on the briefcase, you just run to the target. That's very logical and kind of obvious, and that would have worked. I could have probably figured that out myself. I thought there might be more of a trick to it, and now I'm disappointed that there wasn't more of a trick to it, honestly. Because I could have done that puzzle, certainly, if I had just not been pushed by the game, by the frustration of some of these puzzles before, to doing this. I suppose we need to now look at this. We're going a little long here, but we might as well just look up the solution on doing this in 17 or fewer steps, because we've already had to cheat just to go forward. There's really no reason to hold back. I thought maybe through the process of playing further in the game, I might learn some tricks that weren't as obvious, but no, not really. that's how you would have done that one. And so that's everything now on the first box is done. And we're making progress mostly through cheating on the second box. And box 3 is unlocked, and we only need 11 more for box 4. So we'll definitely get all the way to the end of the game. But in a real fashion, we've kind of already given up and quit the game too. Like, I'll try to go all the way to the end, but am I really even trying to play it at this point? Or am I just giving it 2-3 attempts per level and then looking up all the solutions? I'm at almost 60 of 140 needed to unlock the final box. That also kind of puts us at halfway through the game, which is ridiculous too. It's both a very short game and a frustrating game, and that's a deadly combination in itself. I would much prefer gradual learning of techniques and just doing very, very simplistic puzzles for 10, 20, 30 puzzles in a row before they start adding new elements and making it more difficult. Something more akin to the first Portal game, where they practiced and remade levels over and over again to make sure the player understood what was going on. They've done very little to make sure the player understands what's going on, story-wise or gameplay mechanic-wise. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, go to my main YouTube page. On the right is a button that says support this channel. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.